Alright guys, I'm about to start in a second. Let me see. Can you guys hear me okay? Alright. There's enough of you guys on. I'm going to start now. This is going to be really quick, guys. I hope it's helpful. You let me know. Hey family, how you guys doing? It's been 2 days since Thanksgiving. I know a lot of you guys are enjoying the weekend. I am. I work so hard. I work all the time. I don't know if you know that. I got book business. I got this. Like, I'm always working, and this is like, holidays are the one time I give myself that time to really just relax, and I'm not always working. But I wanted to do this really quickly. Everyone's always talking about this in my group. I focus on real estate investing in the lower price ranges. Everyone's always coming up with this. It's sort of like what they think is an issue, but it really isn't. And it's really like so easy to do. But like I said in my book, I'm always telling people it's not true. And it's like, you can't just keep seeing that. So I put all this information in my rental income system, and I'll give you a part of it. So today is a Black Friday sale. I'll tell you about that later. But right now, let me just talk to you about this one aspect that I think might help you. So a lot of people talk about they can't find funding if they're looking for properties that are $30,000 to $50,000, right? I can't find a lender. I can't find a lender. And in the back of my head, it's basically like, you just have to talk to different people. And just because one lender says yes doesn't mean the other one will say no. It's as simple as understanding that concept and doing what you need to do to get that answer and put out a lot of feelers without spending a lot of time on it. So there's two things I want to get into. One is, yes, there are a ton of lenders who will invest in this price range. And before you even get to that, you need to find out where you're investing, because lenders are basically tied to certain states. So if you're in California or you're in New York and you want to invest in Delaware, or I'm just naming stuff, Montana, it doesn't even matter if your local bank will give you that loan. You have to find a bank or a lender or broker who's authorized in Montana. So first, as I always like to say, it's market first before we get to the lender, okay? Market first, then the lenders, okay? And then once you know the state that you're investing in, because a lot of people I work with do invest long distance, not where they live, because it's too expensive to do it. And if they wait to do it where they live, they'll do it in 40 years, whereas I'm working with people who do it out of state, and they're getting financial freedom within 3 years. Like, it doesn't need to be this long at all, you know. You can hit your target cash flow goals, and your target cash flow goals might be $2,000 a month. It might be $3,000. They're not going to replace my my IBM salary, right, as a senior IT specialist, which you can imagine was high enough, right? It's not going to replace that, but sometimes all you need is $2,000, $3,000 in cash flow, and that is more than enough for you to really start going out and doing what you're actually here to do, right? So I do work with people, and it's not hard. So what you can do And I actually got this from one of my clients. So I say and it's in my sub-30k rental income system. I always say I've been doing this for 5 years. I knew what I knew, and I've helped people, but the kind of people I help are so amazingly bright and talented. They teach me as much as they take what I give them and they run with it. And then they come back and tell me. And then I'm like, hey, I'm going to put this on my training. Are you okay with that? Because this is brilliant. So the easy, super way, every time I see someone say they can't find a sub-30k lender, yes, you can. And I show you this in my rental income system as well as everything else you need to do, is simply get a list of questions I give you, and then just email them. I'm really big into virtual assistants, so even in my sub-30k rental income training, I show you how to get a virtual assistant. I show you how you go to Upwork, you get a virtual assistant. I will get them from overseas, but I will get a translator who translates English from another country, because that way you guarantee a very high level of fluency, but you also get a lower price for that help, who might just do 2 hours worth of work for you a week. And at $4 or $5, $6 an hour, they can make phone calls through Skype. Super easy to do. So even that's in the training as well, because you are building a business. I work with busy professionals who are mothers and fathers. They don't have time to be doing everything themselves. They're the big picture. They hire it out to the little picture. So you can get them do it, or you can do it yourself. And Keith and Carol with Shedlight Properties just showed me this. If you ever want to get in touch with them, just let me know and I'll connect you. But they just simply emailed people. And so we got a list of the questions I gave them to ask, and one of the questions are, first, do you invest in this state or location? Are you authorized to invest in this location? 2, if you do, at what price range? 3, if you do, do you have any overlays on top of Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae? Overlays are there's minimum guidelines before you can get a government-backed loan, right? Government-insured loan that mortgage person can to lend out. But then some people will add more on top of those minimum requirements. Your goal is to get people with no overlays, right? Another question can be, gosh, it was right on the tip of my tongue. It was, how soon do you start counting rent from a rental property as income? As income if I go for a mortgage. So say you have 2 or 3 rental properties. Do you have to wait 2 years, or do you wait 1 day? If you wait 1 day, I want to start business with you and develop a good relationship, because I don't have to wait 2 years as I'm building this for you to count that income, so my debt to income ratio doesn't get skewed, because you might see 1, 2, 3 mortgages. But if you start counting 75% or 100% of the rent from day one, you're automatically saved and you don't have to worry about this. And it's these questions, and I have about like 3 or 4 more that you need to do that you can easily solve this. So when my clients do this, they send it out to maybe 10 banks. They'll get 2 or 3 back. They'll get 70 to 80% reply back, right? Some don't reply, and then we always say you don't want to do business with someone who's not serious about their business that they have with you. But the ones that do, just simply give the answers. And I honestly think now in 2018, they actually would prefer, instead of a long phone call, they actually do prefer to just reply back to your email. And if you want to go with them, go, hey, let me set you up. But at least you qualified them, they qualified you, and so it's just a better partnership, right? So, I mean, they honestly should start asking these questions just in case, they don't, or just give this information out, but they don't. So you can go to the bank's website or have your virtual assistant do it. Simply look at that information and then send those emails out. Send out 10, send out 20. If you're me, I'll send out 40 for that location, because the more you send out, the better the results. It's like when you get a contractor. As I explained in my rental income system, you get 1 contractor estimate, that's what you get. You get 3, you get better. You get 5, now you're starting to finding the nuances, because there's some banks are just like contractors, some are more conservative. Some, like contractors, you might pay $12,000 and someone do $3,000, because a $12,000 one has 4 vans and 40 people working for them. Whereas a guy charging $3,000 is just a dude in his van who's been doing this for 20 years, and his wife helps out with the phone calls. It's a different scale of magnitude, and that's the cost reflect that. The dude by himself might take about a week and a half, and the guy that charges 12 will do it in 1 day, and it'll be really great, and you'll have a 10-year warranty. So price usually does commensurate with some other things that you do get, but just like banks, some banks are very conservative. They honestly will take your money and don't want to give out loans, and they do the bare minimum and make it very strict so they can get away with it, and then they just sort of get you like you don't have choices. You do have choices now. You can join a lot of credit unions and banks, and some banks are really liberal. I find credit unions to be the most liberal, so are small community banks. I don't know why. I can't explain why. They just tend to be. If someone has any answers, let me know. credit unions, aren't playing that deposit game. They have, they make money from lending out, not playing your money on the stock market or doing whatever that banks do. So they're more likely to lend out too without so many different restrictions. And they usually have membership requirements that sort of vet people already. Like you have to work for Northrop Grumman contracting company, right? So you're already vetted to be making, a pretty decent salary. It just depends. There's different reasons you can join them. So at the end of the day, it's really easy. Just go out there, shoot those questions off, find the lender. We always find lenders. It's not a big deal. Whoop-de-whoop. And if you go and find this idea great and it works for you, at least if you go on the forums and tell people about them, at least tell them they're Lisa Phillips. I got this from Lisa Phillips training, right? So those and more other things are in my training. If you like this video, can I see some likes? Especially on YouTube, there's a guy out there who just said, the last video I did had 5 likes and 1 unlike. That tells me you don't want to hear any more of these tips, which I don't have to do them. So if you don't want them, I need the likes if you do, right? Like you need to put the likes. So let me know if you want more, and I can tell you different things that I've been helping my clients with. But it's super easy. Just do that. You send out 10, you get 80% back. You pick the 1 or 2 within that state and location you're investing in that works. That's all you got to do. You don't got to make phone calls. That's the old way of doing it. You don't have to do that anymore. And that updates in the training on how to do that. So that gets over. None of my clients have had issues. None of them. And someone just said they found a bank that'll, as long as it's $5,000, they'll give. Someone just told me this on my group coaching call on Tuesday. They're like, yeah, I found a bank for $5,000. Where was that? Ah, goodness. I forget. I think it's somewhere in the southern region, but I thought that was pretty cool. 5,000 minimum, and some have none minimums. I have some that are like 20,000, some that are like 5. So yeah, that's the big secret. No one can figure out. So with that being said, I would like to introduce my Black Friday sale to you guys. It is a Black Friday sale. I am marking down significantly my my sub30k rental income system and doing it in a deal. I don't usually do this. Hello, Denise Douglas from Illinois. Before I go into that, let me see who's on. What up, xoLisa? Hey, Earl. How you doing? Anyone else join? Oh, you guys join. I just went over it. You guys will catch the replay because I was just trying to keep this short, but you can ask me questions if you want. Basically, I just sort of exactly how you can find a lender regardless of the price point, even though people say they can't find them. It's super, super easy. You just send it an email, and in my training, I show you exactly what questions you should ask and why you should ask them. Just shoot it out, get those questions answered, and then you can easily send out 10 emails in like an hour, get back 4 that, that are companies you can work with, and bada boom, bada bing. Watch the replays to see what kind of questions there are. Plus, I didn't go over all the questions, but I do go over the rest of them in my sub30k rental income system and explain why. So, so I'm doing a Black Friday sale today. It's today through it was started Thursday night through Cyber Monday. If you're in my monthly membership, Investing Made Easy. Hey, Shoshone. If you're in my Investing Made Easy monthly, go check the Facebook group, our private Facebook group. Go check your emails. You get more bonuses than the public because you invested in me, so I invest in you. And if you're in my monthly membership, I'm always giving you pretty much goodies or emails or free this or free that, and I do that. So whatever you give me, usually 20 to 30% go right back to you. So check that out for your monthly membership, and I think a lot of you guys stay 12, 15, 16 months plus. You're getting value out of it as you're going through the process and saving up the money to invest, and I thank you, and I love that it's a part of your journey, and it makes you a better person when you do it, so thank you. So hey, Devette, my girl. Thank you, guys. So the Black Friday deal, it's the sub30k rental income system. And hey, Linda, I've been with you for a minute. Any tips for someone like me interested in being a landlord? Oh, goodness, that's such a big question. Let me answer that at the end after I tell about the Black Friday sale, okay? Because that's a big question. So that I'll do. So the Black Friday sale. So this is what you get. You get, I'm doing my sub30k rental income system, which I was just talking about. And if you want to check my last 3 YouTube lives, you can see the type of information that's exactly in it because I shared it with you, plus examples of how I use it with my coaching clients. You get the rental income system. That is $1,500 if you go to my website. You get the investing out of state portion. That is $300 if you go to my website. But for today, through Cyber Monday only, it is $500. It's $497 if you want it today. It's a really, really huge discount. I do it because I just want to say hello and thank you. This is for you. There's a lot of you guys who've talked to me and you've wanted to invest. You know that it would be a lot easier, smoother, and all that if you work with me. And you know it, but my coaching programs were just a little more than you wanted to budget for as you're saving up. And so this is going to be the best price. It is only going to happen once. You know I'm by my word. You know I don't play either. Because, so if you want it, this would be the best for those who know they've wanted to work with me and just couldn't, budget for it. But this is going to be good. So it's it's $1,500 for the rental income system, and then it's $300 for the investing out of state. You get it today for $500, over $1,300 in savings. If you're in my membership, my monthly membership, it's $1,400 in savings through Cyber Monday. And you also get a 1-hour fast implementation calls. I do this with all my coaching clients. As soon as I work with you, I sort of tell you how to prepare and how to go about the modules, when to think about it and not to jump ahead, and how to sort of set it up so it's the best for you. You get the 1-hour fast implementation call, and you also get a 30-minute coaching call with me. And I did have a limited number of other bonuses for the first 10 people, but they already signed up. So this is the 30-minute coaching call. Don't worry, it's a good coaching call. I get through a lot in 30 minutes just because I've been doing this for 5 years. There's not any obstacles you have. We have not figured it out. I've been with really sharp people, so I've been sharpened, they've been sharpened. We sharpened each other over 5 years, and the kind of people I attract are amazing. They're brilliant. They're people who started off in working class, poor income neighborhoods, and now they're here at a level where they can invest heavily, and they want to excel. So the kind of people I'm around are people who are thrivers, not survivors, and so you just get really sharp. So that 30-minute coaching call goes quick because we know what to do, even more so than we did 5 years ago. Like, it has changed, and we kept our fingers to the pulse of that change. So like what I'll tell you, we'll do that too. So the 30-minute call, I ask, what do you need? What are you comfortable with as far as travel? What are you comfortable with? What are your resources? How comfortable are you with different renovation? What is your timeline and plan for what is your target cash flow number, right? Like, we need to make a plan. If you're trying to hit 2,000 or 3,000, all right, how can we get there? And it does change. If you're someone with 30,000, I have different advice for you than someone with 100,000, right? Then they're just different than someone with 10,000, because there's other factors surrounding every single one of those that we go into play, and it really takes you in different directions if you're thoughtful about what you're doing. So that's what I do if you want it in that 30 minutes. And once I get all of that, we can finally have the solution to make a business that is truly your business and do it the right way. This is going to be my last live about it, but please check out the last 3. You can see them in the sub30k group. All of them are on my YouTube page. I also did them on Instagram. And, no one's on Periscope anymore, but I did it on Periscope because I just wanted to, just start putting myself in that platform so they know who I am and can feel my energy as I talk. This business and what I do has been making huge impact, and I say the world. I've had people who didn't think they had a chance get the chance and be able to figure out that yes, they can invest, yes, they can hit their cash flow goal. People have this 4 to 5 year plan of getting completely financial free, and let me tell you something about that. And no, you don't need to be a millionaire or be able to raise $200,000 from your friends, because I have friends too, and I can't raise $200,000 from them. Now, and I say that because, as Lisa, but as someone who has a public platform, I can do that now. But when I started out, most of you guys are like me, you just don't have that social circle, right? Whereas I know other people who can ask their parents for $120,000 for franchise money, and they can get it, right? That's just not the social circle me and the majority of people I work with who are first-time generation college, mostly African American, first generation college, first generation to figure out debt, first generation white collar, and we also have student loans, credit card debt, and trying to live the same lifestyle as you, but we're the first of everything. It's just we don't have that capital at this moment to do that, and so it's just a different conversation. So for when I work with people and they're in that situation, they're able to go from here to there because they're just more thoughtful about using their money, and they know more strategically how to use all the resources around. I've seen the change it's made in people's lives, and now people are no longer talking about, oh, I hate this job, but they're talking about, oh, I'm here to do something good. I always ask people what their higher purpose is, and someone yesterday told me, oh my gosh, once I do this and I get my target 2,500, I want to start opening up schools. She was like, well, there's so many minorities who aren't taking advantage of, there's technical jobs within medical. There's scrub technicians and this technicians and blah, blah, blah technicians. And I just thought it was brilliant. I was like, yes, we need more people like that shedding their light and showing their, showing that power to other people. people to lift them up to where they are, right? And if they weren't so focused on the surviving part and they get to the thrive part, they have the time to go forward on their passion helping other people, which is why when I say what we do make a big difference, when you find that you can actually literally invest and it's easier than you ever thought possible, like you completely change someone's narrative, because investing has it has such long-term big outputs for people. It can change your life. It changes your legacy. The people I worked with, I mean, they're a completely different person. It's like he shifted them and brought them to a whole other energy. Like they're just a different people. They're different people. They've shifted. They're in a new paradigm that a lot of people aren't. And there's such a big need for me to keep doing this and bring them back. So this Black Friday sale is for those who want that information, want some of that magic in them, and they would like to do it the right way, and they don't want to struggle anymore. They just want it easy. And so just be mindful that it can be. It's all up to you if you like it. So that's the Black Friday sale. It's $497 for $1,800 worth of training. It's one time only. I'm not going to do this again, but it is for you. Black Friday can be fun, and it's better than being in Walmart, in a stampede trying to get a TV. You got TVs. You don't need another one, right? So, yeah, that's what we're doing. And with that, I put in the link, the price if you want to do it. It's a wonderful world I'm in, and you don't see it like I do, but I literally have seen people change their lives and go on to their higher purpose after working with me, because they finally got the freedom and knowledge to do it so quickly. And I'd like to say this: we can get you a financial freedom in anywhere, depending on your resources, right, and your location and who you are, because it's going to change, anywhere from 4 to 10 years. We can get you financial freedom, complete, replacing your salary, financial freedom with the resources you have, right? It just depends on your timeline if it's going to be shorter or longer. And to me, the thought should be everyone should be on a 4 to 10 year plan of working, not a 30-year retirement plan. You see that? So for me, I wish it was in school. Let's work on your 4 to 10 year plan, and then you have everything you need in that it depends on how much. Let's just say it's more like 6 to 10 years, right, to be completely financial free. And then the other 20, 30 years is working on your passion. And that's a conversation we didn't have. We were brought up in this generation that, go to college and then get a job for 30, 40 years, and hopefully you have retirement. And we all know that doesn't work anymore. But I wish it was a conversation of, let's work from 4 to 6 years, or let's work for 6 to 10 years, get our financial freedom and stability through real estate investing in overlooked communities, do it right with compassion and with understanding that these are the last affordable properties, and you can help combat that and not have someone have to move every year because you raise the rents. You can be that person that doesn't, as long as they treat your property right, and as long as they do what they need to do and pay on time. You can be that person who helps stop the flow of unaffordability, right? So how about doing that in a 6 to 10 year time frame, and then the next 30 years work on your passion? That is a conversation no one has. That is a conversation we need, because there's so many people I know in my community, because I work with majority African American professionals. It's not all, but it's 80%. And you know what? Every single one of them know their purpose is to go back and help others. And if we get to everybody, if we get 10,000 people to that point, this world is going to change. I have seen it. I've seen the change. I've seen people work magic once they get to that point. And so this is so important. So if you've ever wanted to work with me, this is the time to do it. And with that, I'll see whatever questions people have for me and jump off. You pronounced it perfect, Shoshone. I'm jealous. I thought I was your girl. Let's see what we got here. Let me see. Y'all hearing me? I'm talking 4 to 6, 6 to 10 years, and then work on your passion. We're not talking 30, 40 years to be someone else's, employee. And I'm not a good employee. I'm a good business owner, and some of you are like that too. So let me see what the comments are from YouTube. Hello from Illinois. Thank you, Denise. Hello from Princeton, New Jersey. Hello, Cardwell. It is so pretty in Princeton, New Jersey. I love driving through the Garden State. Hey, Linda, you've been with Ride or Die with me from the beginning, so I'm so happy to see you in here. Amen. Yes, you get it? This is a different conversation we need to start spreading, and it's not just me. When you hear my words and they make sense, let's start talking about that. Let's talk to our 6 to 10 year plan, and then our passion plan. None of this other stuff, because that's basically the route that I took from college to now, right? It was 10 years of working, but also building an investment business, and now working in my calling and passion, right? That's what we do. Hey, always grinding. Okay, any tips for people interested in being a landlord? I always say I'm a rental property owner, not a landlord. So any tips? I mean, yes, first, get your money right. Secondly, figure out what strategy you want to do and what location. And then thirdly, you start laying out what properties of those locations fit you. Now, in between those, if you look at my last few videos, there's nuances to all of that, and you should really understand who you are and answer those questions first and get some guidance on what questions you should be asking yourself and why as you build your business. Ashley Burks, I read your book. It was good! Exclamation point. You said you were into astrology at the end of it. Do you use it in your real estate practice? You know what? Let me talk about something. I did not realize how spiritual I was in my business, but there are a couple of things that I was bringing, and I'm so glad you talked about it. So I didn't realize how much intuition I was bringing and why people worked with me. It was so easy, and other people it was not. I do realize that when I told people specifically, when you go to a location, you can sense the energy of a place. You can sense if it's for you. You can sense the neighborhood if it's the right energy for you, if you want to dwell there or not. And it's funny because I look at these properties, I analyze them with my coaching clients, and it's like, I can just tell by looking at the pictures of the visuals, I can get a sense of a place. And I didn't realize that that isn't a literal intuitive sense to be able to pick up the energy of a location. And you can do that with your video. And I didn't know I was doing that. I just know I would tell my clients you could feel it in your gut. So take a moment and breathe before you step in or even step out the car. How do you feel about that neighborhood? If your intuition is telling you no, just keep driving. And if not, go. And then I had when I told her that, she was like, you know what? I know what you're talking about. My nose. I know I was in the house just looking around. I was like, there's something, it looks right, but there's something here. And she finally found it. Her nose led her to like this mold. Her name's Judy. I thought that was funny, but it was like the same thing. I didn't realize. So yeah, there are things I intuitively was bringing into, and I didn't know was like a skill, was like to pick up the energy of a location, like to read energy. That's a thing. You can read the energy of people, of a location. I didn't realize I was continuously doing that, but my clients were so successful. It's just a little gift I was bringing. I didn't ignore. I was just like, yeah, go with your gut. And if you go to my rental income training, I literally tell you that. And I just didn't realize. Now I do, because I've been looking into and meditating and finding out this information. Another thing that was spiritual too is the energy that I force my clients to bring, or else like I don't work with you. I bring an energy of we are doing this together. It is a we. It is not you, a mess versus them. I'm good and I have the money. I'm going to this lower income neighborhood. It was never that. It was like a we. It was like, I'm going to give you a great place to stay, and you're going to treat it right and treat me with respect, and you're going to pay your rent on time, and we are going to be good together. And that energy, don't underestimate it, because when I brought that energy, and all my clients do, no one treats my house poorly. My tenants I may have had problems with the city because they're giving me stupid fines, but I never had a tenant mess my place up, ever. And they liked me, and they were grateful, because your energy, what you bring to something, influences everything. When I bring a we mentality, I fix the leak on the roof. I don't just paint over it. Someone lives there. So that's a spiritual thing, though. The thought of, I'm building a business that's a we. Spirituality doesn't have to be some weird thing, okay? It's just like you sense this, you sense that, or you bring an energy or thought of this that is compassionate and bringing you both up. So yeah, in my coaching, in this, we are so successful. I did not realize it, but all of those things are spiritual practices of compassion, we bringing people up together, and just sensing the energy of a place. So yeah, it is a gift, and a lot of people have it, but they ignore it. I don't ignore it, and I realized I was helping my clients like tap into that, because I would tell them you literally have to sit, take a moment, take a deep breath, and just sense how you feel before you walk in there. And I don't want you walking in there until you do it. So that was a very interesting thing that I've been doing for 5 years, but it's very successful. Does that cool, Ashley? Does that make sense? You use a rental management company, Shane? Yes, because I'm a rental property owner, not a landlord. I don't want to. Even if I was in the same city, I don't know. I still might use a property manager. I'm building a business where I want to make executive decisions over repairs, executive decisions over who gets in, but I don't want to do the day-to-day. And to me, it's worth 10%. I'm an outsourcer. I'm like the lazy CEO. Even in this business, I have like 8 virtual assistants. Like, I outsource everything, right? Like, I'm building a business so I can be me and focus on what I need to focus on, and that. And I know a lot of people think they have to settle for being a landlord, but you don't. Okay, you just need to be knowledgeable and skillful and know how to skillfully outsource that. And I actually teach them a rental income system on how to vet your property managers. They're not all the same, and how to invest out of state. You need to make sure that they're there, but with enough presence that you've got your back if they leave, because in my Ohio property, I'm a third property manager. If there was only one property management company in that place, I'd be stuck. I didn't like the first two. The first one didn't communicate well and wasn't following up. The second one was too expensive when I had third turnovers. This third one's just fine, but you got to take these things into account. And in the rental income system, I tell you exactly what to take into account and how to do it and pace yourself so there's no surprises. And that just comes out of all the experience. Lazy CEO. I know. I'm such a rich dad, poor dad geek. So let me go here. This is a passion I've had since a child. Shoshone, speak on it. Tell me what your passion is before I get off, please. I'd like to read it to the crowd, please. How important is credit in this venture? It needs to be decent, okay? So if it's not that, I want you to take all your money, because someone reached out to me, should they buy this course? And they just had some pretty serious credit issue, and I said, no, I want you to take the money you would send me, find a very reputable credit repair specialist, and hit your credit hard, and then come see me. Literally just wrote that, right? And because that's the right thing to do, right? But you need decent credit. Now, I had a foreclosure, but I had a 640 credit score, right? I could get a personal loan. I can get certain credit cards. And in my training, I tell you which credit cards are better than others. And that's in my monthly membership training. I tell you what credit cards are better than others when you have a foreclosure or your credit's not that good, like Capital One and Barclay cards or some. But there's other cards that are not good unless you have perfect credit. Like Discover, shoot, they won't even look at me, even if my foreclosure's off, right? Like, and anyways, you don't want Discover. They can be petty. I think in our community. So you need decent credit, and if you were going to invest with me, but it's like $500, you need to spend all that money on that. It's worth the money. I got a credit repair specialist, and we actually got. The people did not remove stuff they should have removed, and we actually sued like Citibank, Experian, TransUnion, and you get like $1,000 each, which is still cool. Thank you. You know, you don't get a lot, but they took it off and that because they weren't doing it right. So a credit repair specialist will get you paid a little bit too. That's a dope plan. Thanks for sharing. I've been wanting to provide affordable, nice housing. Girl, energy matters. That thought process of wanting to do good. And then when you mix it with knowledge, like either from you growing up there or you work with someone like me and who leverages all my experiences, it doesn't need to be this headache, right? Like it can be really easy. So let me see if there's any other questions. Thank you, Ashley. I'm actually going to do a video, so like watch out for it, on like how I didn't know how spiritual all of this was, but when you do it from the right place in your heart, everything else that follows is spiritually like on point of what we're here to do. Alright, Osorio says on YouTube, "Hey Lisa, your book is awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I learned so much. I'm debt free and have good credit, but just built my emergency fund. Where do I start? I live in Florida and everything is so expensive. Oh, I work with so many Florida people. You're going to have to invest out of state. So depending on your resources, we need to get a plan for you about what the best way to hit your cash flow goal. We'll start low at like, $2,000, $2,500. What's the best way to hit that with your current resources? So we look at all of them and then decide what's best. I do that with my one-on-one coaching program a little bit more intensely than I do like in my training, just because I can talk to you and like go over everything. But in my training, I tell you all the resources you can use. And then you have to look and see what out-of-state market that is good for you. It's not going to be good for everybody. There are certain things that you're going to be more in tune with and not. And we just have to really make sure we account for those about your travel time, your resources, renovation, repairs, and if it's just a good if it's what kind of cash flow is that location getting that gets you to your goal and what timeline, and if you're happy with that. So it's just first just to strategize about where you can go and how you can do it and see how comfortable you are with what the options are for you, if that makes sense. I do that, like I said, a lot more intensely with my one-on-one coaching clients or my group coaching clients. Always Grindin says, for my first home on YouTube, for my first home, I want to use the FHA loan and buy a fourplex and live in one unit and rent out 3. And FYI, there's a lot of you guys that just came on. Please watch the first part. It's how to find a sub-30k lender. It's super easy. All y'all complaining, I don't know how to do it. It's super easy. I just say if you do like my ideas, and if you have to go tell everyone in the world, at least go, hey, Lisa Phillips was talking about this, so people know the brilliance was born from this, even if you carried it on, you know, just help. And also, I need you guys to press like on YouTube. I have yesterday I did a video, it got 5 likes and 1 dislike. That tells me you guys don't want any more. So I need you to press like if you want me to do more. Otherwise, I'm thinking maybe I'm not doing what I need to do for you, right? Maybe you don't want me coming on live and telling you what I do with my coaching clients and how I build their portfolios. But I absolutely need the likes, because if YouTube sees I get 1 like, dislike, and 5 likes, that's not enough, and that's too high, they're not going to share this video. Okay? They're just not. So if you guys really like it, can you do that? Always grinding said, for my first home, I want to use the FHA loan, buy a 4-plex, live in 1 unit, rent out the 3. Yeah. Yeah. We just bought our property in Charlottesville, which we're selling, which has a ton of equity, because this knows how to find a good house that will appreciate. We bought one, and the downstairs we got specifically so we could Airbnb it. So it didn't start out a duplex, but like we literally got the house because it would be easy to convert it to an Airbnb. So yes, sir. So yeah, if you know, it just depends on who you are and how aggressive you are. My husband's more like white picket fence. I'm more like, let's get this money. So we had to come to the beginning, a compromise. And you have a spouse and partner, you have to be on the same page, or at least compromise. You can't do it alone if they don't want it. And you know, so if I don't know if I would do a 4-plex and live in it. Maybe if I was in college, but you get to a certain point where you have all this furniture and you don't feel like putting it in storage. So I wouldn't do a 4-plex. Maybe I'd do a duplex. And Airbnb does make money. So like we do it on our downstairs, and we get anywhere from, I mean, it's low to high months, so anywhere from $1,000 a month from it to like $1,600, which is like pure cash flow, right? So it's amazing. When my husband got laid off, he was like, you know what, I'll just keep doing the Airbnb and focus on writing my book. So when I say it gives you time, and you know, real estate investing is amazing if you have a passion. It's not going to replace your salary, but it gives you enough so you can do it, and that's what you're really here for. He's there to like be humorous and inspire people, make people laugh. That's what he's here for. We need more of that, don't we? Not him working for a government contractor, you know? So yeah, it does. So it's more work though, and it's more intensive, and you have to pay for, if you want to outsource, you have to pay, 40%, 30% to outsource it, not 10. So it's still going to be better than if you just rented it, but not necessarily by much. So you have to look at the numbers a little bit closely, always grinding. Ashley, yes, sister, yes. I'll post it for you. All right, thank you so much for your honest answer. I will save up to start your coaching program. Yes, please do. I'd love to work with you. I work with Floridians all the time. They're amazing. One guy just purchased in Kansas. He was going to look at Alabama and Kansas, but he chose Kansas even though it was further away because, like I said, sometimes it's worth going a little bit further, depending on what your goals are. You are welcome, always granted. Make sure you press like on YouTube especially. I have some hater. I wish I knew who it was, but they don't tell you. I'd block him from my channel. But I think he doesn't, like, there's some people who don't like that I talk about compassion, caring, affordable housing, because I'm supposed to be money, money, money. Like, no, you can literally be both if you're bright and you're smart and you know how to do both, right? So, yeah. We're a spiritual being more so than physical. Yes, we are, Shoshone. Oh, good. Please more. This is great. Thank you, D'Angelo. Pre-press like. I appreciate that. So I'm going to jump off because they're eating food without me. I'd like to eat too. How do I get your book? Okay, it's right here. Bit.ly. I'll post it in the link. But it's investing in rental properties for beginners. So if you just type that into Amazon, I'll come right up. I like it when they say they will post my book next to like Brandon Turner's book, so I'm like so happy to see that, so people know there's an alternative. Not that I don't like his book, but I'm very specific about this lower price range and all the culture that goes around it, and so it's really different. So thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm gonna go. So sorry on Facebook, I'm seeing that it comes out a little smaller. I don't know why it's doing that. I need to fix it. So but hopefully you understand and get a lot out of this. So I'm going to go. Happy Thanksgiving. The Black Friday sale is going on. So if you guys are interested and always ever wanted to work with me, but it was just a little outside your budget, this is the best to do if you are interested. Girl, Avis, can't wait to work with you. I really can't. Oh, someone's on Periscope. Dwayne, who are you? Periscope, have you mentored folks in the northwest portion of the country? Yes, my Seattleites. Same thing applies as my San Franciscans, as my Sacramentans, as my LAXers, all right? Yes. So the Black Friday sale, which I'm going to talk about, has an investing out of state portion, and there's a very specific way that you invest out of state where you don't just choose a stupid city and go, I'm going to fly there. No, you make sure you have the infrastructure around you and the infrastructure around the city you're going to, and they meet and align in the middle. Alignment, right? Spiritual again. And it does. And you just got to relax, and you're going to be shown. It's going to, when you start doing the numbers. So I have you look at about 10 to 12 different metrics. I keep adding them. And then once you do all that, you then decide what state you're going to go to. You don't just choose a state and then try to backtrack. You lay out what you care about and what's important to your business, and then you do it. So yes, Dwayne, I do. So I'm going to put the link to my Black Friday sale. If you can heart it up, Dwayne, if you want. I'm trying to chat here, but it says chat unavailable. So if you go to my YouTube page, you can see it. The Black Friday sale if you'd like to do it. But yeah, this is what I do. This is what I do. Thank you, Lisa. This is great. Thank you, Lashake. Oh, Lashake, I'm so happy to see you. And thank you for joining the monthly membership. I love seeing you in there, and I love how you jump on all the calls. I appreciate you, boo. Who else we got? Yeah, so let me see if I have any more questions. Whew, Abby, I just did, you want to buy a rental property in the state of Baltimore. What do you think about it? I live in PG County. Okay, I just did a YouTube live on this about a week ago, so look at the last 5 videos on YouTube, and I go over all of it in detail. And I have clients in the PG County area who invest there. I also have coaching clients who invest not there, right? So we got both. And there's very specific reasons for both of them, and it depends on their temperament. People who have my temperament don't tend to, and people who are like have a high tolerance level for city shenanigans do, right? There's other things that are better in Baltimore, but even then, better's relative. So with that, I'm going to head off. Thank you guys for taking the time to listen to me on this Sunday night. Take care. I hope this was helpful. Watch the replay, okay? All right.